So I think just those myths, and this is a problem with most marginalized communities, is that the onus of education seems to be on the person who is oppressed. Um, so the onus of, like, if I'm in a relationship, in a friendship or romantic relationship with a non-autistic person, it's always me who has to do the research on how they think, how to talk to them so that way I don't hurt their feelings, how to, show up to events and things like that that I'm uncomfortable being at, but they expect as normal, and that's always expected of the autistic person. That's always expected of the person of color. That's always expected of the woman in a group of men, where like we're expected to run circles around other people, and then it's pretty much up to us to get into that dangerous situation when, as a relationship develops, to be like, hey, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the way that this is happening. And what happens is that really kicks in a very human reaction of fragility, of like getting angry at the person who is saying they're uncomfortable, like, well, what's wrong with you? How dare you? Kind of. And I see this in a lot of my, like anti-racism activism, stuff like that, where it's not safe to speak up and ask for accommodations because not enough of us are doing the research on our own. So as a Chinese woman, I have some perspective on race and oppression, but it is my job to do research on the Black experience and things I need to know so I don't hurt people. I don't walk into a room and ask them to educate me for free. I do the same thing with when for Books for Littles when I'm trying to study like cerebral palsy or something like that. I don't want to reach out to someone and say, hey, educate me for free because I'm here because it's your job. I want to do that work on my own and then hopefully take some of that burden off of them to do some self advocacy work. So I think my most frustrating experience is just that non autistic people don't have, I mean, they have the ultimate privilege. They can walk away from it. If they get uncomfortable with, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation, which is the thing that I hear a lot. So they can just back out of it. Whereas an autistic person who is hyper focused on that, who is very upset, they can't do that. That's not a privilege that they have. So it is something that I don't know how to figure out. A lot of activists are still trying to figure out how you get people to care about a tribe that is not their own, and how do you get them to just educate themselves and take a few minutes to really look into, like, how do you be a decent friend to an autistic person, because I've done many years of that research for all holistic people, whereas I'm not sure any of my holistic friends have done that for me. um, but I mean, this is something that spans pretty much any kind of differential groups.